Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the penultimate match of Round 5 in the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament, or SMRAT for short. We got a really exciting match today between Toasty and Kevnastics, two very skilled runners, two prominent members of the community, and I think we're going to see some cool action today. For those who may not be aware, the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament is a tournament that, as the name implies, is a Super Metroid randomized tournament. So all of the items have been swapped between locations. Maybe you find Speed Booster at Screw Attack location or something. However, the accessible part means that these seeds do have a logic to them, and a very forgiving one at that. So you will never find Speed Booster behind a location that the vanilla game would expect you to only get with speed. Like say, for example, at Early Super's location. So if you can complete the vanilla game, get 100% of the items, and do the tricks taught to you by the vanilla game, namely wall jumping, vertical shine sparking, and basic infinite bomb jump, then you can complete an SMRAT seed. However, as we're going to see in today's race, there is a pretty high upper ceiling to the SMRAT logic. And so by knowing more tricks, by being able to route it more efficiently and have good micro movement, you can complete seeds very quickly and get an edge over your opponent. All right. So it looks like we should be getting started shortly. And we see that Toasty there has opted to do the Japanese text for the menuing. It doesn't, especially in randomizer, it doesn't really show up besides going into controller settings, special settings, and I believe like the escape text at the end of the game. But it's fun. No, I'm pretty sure both of these players are 2-2 currently. I could be mistaken. Gonna check the challenge real quick. I believe I looked beforehand and it was 2-2. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the round bracket at the bottom to update. Yeah, Kev is 2-2, as is Toasty. Yeah, it's all good, music. I always forget that one. Alright, we got both the seeds matching. Hopefully we can get underway shortly. Great, music's dropping the gate now, so as soon as we have the lag of the Twitch streams catch up to us, we're going to be able to see this race get underway. Now, while we are sort of waiting for the last steps of setup, some things you're going to look out for here. The items to complete a Super Metroid seed that are absolutely necessary. You need at least 3 tanks, at least one of which must be an E-tank, and that's to survive Mother Brain's beam. You're going to want to see both Varia and Gravity Suit. You want a way into Botswoon and by extension Dragon, and you want a way to get through the worst room in the game, some kind of movement item. High jump is ideal, but space jump also works. Spring ball, charge ice, and infinite bomb jump can all do the trick. The most major routing decision that we're going to see, especially early on, is whether our players want to go up or down the red tower. There are a couple of different ways that route can look. For going up red tower, you can also do what's known as reverse meme route, where you go through Retro Brinstar, the area that our players are right now, and make those checks if our players don't find power bombs right here. And so the reason our players would want to go up Red Tower is if they think that something is going to be at Wrecked Ship or one of the other locations near there. Like if they don't find power bombs here, maybe they think something's in Retro Brinstar, maybe they think something's at Gauntlet or Criteria power bombs. And you would want to go down Red Tower, well, there are the power bombs, so our players will be able to make all of the Retro Brin checks while they're here. But you would want to go down Red Tower. If you have Varia and a way to get through Worst Room in the game, then you can just complete all of Norfair and Lower Norfair while you're down there. If you think you can get Varia on the way, that's nice. If you don't have a suit and you think you could get Gravity down there, then you can make the checks in the unheated rooms first, then go up into Meridia. So generally, players will really prefer going down Red Tower in a seed. However, sometimes, especially if you feel your opponent might go another way and you need an advantage, players will prefer to go up Red Tower. Yep, and we see our runners going up to check Billy Mays right now. Kev is having a little bit of trouble with this wall jump. It can be a bit tricky, especially at the beginning where you can't really see where you're going. Looks like Kev finally got it though. Yeah, and there's nothing super notable up here, unfortunately. However, that E-Tank will greatly increase their survivability. It almost sounds silly to say, ooh, Toasty missed that moonfall down. It almost sounds silly to say, but Brinstar can be one of the scarier areas to get through early on in the game. Because not only are you doing what you would normally do in the game, but you are also making checks for items that you're not expected to get to until much later, such as that E-Tank in Wavegate Room. Normally at that point in the game, you would be expected to have power bombs, so you at least have Varia suit. However, our players will often have nothing, just the basic power suit. So those big side hoppers can deal ED damage. Ooh, I don't think that bomb was good. Okay, that just barely made it, I think. It is possible to power bomb behind Morph in such a way that you only break some of the blocks, and that's really annoying. Yeah, so thus far our runners haven't really found anything to indicate where they might want to go. And we see Toasty skipping those missiles. It's important to note that super missiles are much more likely to show up than they are in the vanilla game. So we'll often see runners skip missiles and just pick up enough super missiles to beat the game without ever finding charge. I believe the game audio stuff might actually be on Toasty's end. Yeah, I think Toasty's audio itself sounds weird. Yeah, you can try for Kev's audio if you want. That sounds better to me. Yeah, but yeah, so nothing at Bomb Terrezo. Because we still only have that one power bomb pack, our players will not be able to check Gauntlet. However, they can peek the back of Gauntlet to check those back two items there using one power bomb. And it's actually +1 on power bombs because you can get 2 power bomb drops. So runners will almost universally go for that. Ooh, and that wave beam is nice. So Wave Beam adds damage. It's useful in some corner cases. It can put some stuff in logic that our runners would already be able to do, but it makes it a little bit easier. If our runners find charge, then that Wave Beam will allow them to use X factors on bosses if they desire, which can be really invaluable. Alright, nothing in the back of Gauntlet. By the way, I really like the palette swap that Toasty has going on. That's one of the features of Varia. Yeah, what's up, Papa Schmo? Yeah, this is a really cool race. I'm rooting for both players. Every time I get to do commentary, it's a win. Yeah, so Toasty messed up that mock ball, unfortunately. Sometimes you'll see even really experienced players just, you know, they miss the jump. Yeah, so right now, Toasty has a fair-sized lead, just because Kev had some early game troubles getting that Billy Mays wall jump. However, that could change at any moment if we see some route deviation. Yeah. Yeah, thus far, we still haven't seen any items that might indicate our players want to go towards a certain direction. And generally by the end, if you like go through all of Pink Brinstar and you basically don't have any items, I personally like going down. Nothing like continuous wall jump is in logic within SMRAT. That's a very difficult trick. It's depending on how you do it, either 2 frame perfect inputs or a frame perfect input followed by a 2 frame window. Yeah, and Toasty employs 1 damage boost through the bottom of Edakuns. That's a pretty conservative strategy. It allowed him to fill up on power bombs as well. You can see people do, what, as many as like ideally 3 damage boosts to get through there as quickly as possible. And you have various setups for it. It's actually a little bit more complicated than it appears, because a lot of people don't realize there are actually 2 different kinds of damage boosts in this game. If your D-pad is completely neutral and you're not holding a direction, then you will just fly backward. However, if you are holding forward when you land on those spikes, ooh, that antivirus protection's not great for Kev. That's unfortunate. Kev lost like a second or 2 there. But yeah, so with D-boost, there's the regular kind, where you're not holding a direction and you just get knocked back. If you're holding forward when you come in contact with the spikes, then you will actually go down a little bit. before you get knocked back, and you have to employ both kinds of damage boosts in different places. Yeah, Windows has been out for blood in round 5 of the SMRAT. We had another player who had to do some extensive Windows updates, unfortunately, last night, I believe. Yeah, so Toasty there just set up for Spore Spawn skip, and Kev didn't quite get it. The screen's not scrolled all the way there. Ooh. Kev's having a little bit of trouble with his setup. He's almost out of supers. And hopefully he doesn't just... Oh, did he already get it? It's a little bit hard to tell with the low frame rate. Our players will be rewarded for their efforts with Plasma Beam. Spore Spawn skip is kind of tricky, especially if you're not used to it, because you're basically standing somewhere where you can get the super missile to accelerate far enough off screen that it hits that super missile block without despawning. Toasty, you got wave. Alright, Toasty gets the green gate glitch just for swag points. It happens, it's just muscle memory for a lot of us. I've done that a million times, especially if you have a beam that isn't wave. It's easy to forget that you have wave. Ooh, and Kev, unfortunately, it didn't open that flashing door on their first trip through the room, so they're gonna have to kill those side hoppers again. But yeah, reverse green gate glitch is one of those tricks, and if you're struggling with it, I actually put up a video of it in the Discord, where it's a lot easier if you have a normalized setup for it. If you're just trying to fire super missiles willy-nilly, it can be a lot more difficult. Our both runners didn't have too much trouble getting it though. And that screw attack is really nice. Screw attack makes lower Norfair much comfier, because many of the enemies in lower Norfair really hurt and require some pretty serious pattern manipulation to get through without taking damage. However, if you have screw attack, you can just bust through them. Yeah, really heavy DPS seed. Our runners are going to be able to just thrash anything they come across. Except bosses, of course. They still don't have a great way to deal with bosses aside from just having some supers. Yeah, unfortunately either or both of the beams that they got don't really offer them any utility necessarily in the same way that charge and ice can, in that ice allows you to get into certain areas you couldn't otherwise, and charge obviously allows you to beat the game without needing a whole bunch of ammo. I believe the exact number to kill Mother Brain 2 is a metric crap ton. Yeah, it's 60 supers will kill Mother Brain 2. So if you have some way of doing Zebetite skip, then you can do 40 missiles and 60 supers with refilling after you destroy the doors. Yep, so Toasty is going through Kraid right now. Kraid's area, it only has a few checks, but you're gonna have to go through this area at some point, so might as well make it early on. There's very little that can actually make Kraid's lair faster. The only thing that can really do it is speed makes it a little bit faster. The other consideration to make would be something like Mini Kraid gives you that supers refill, but that's not going to be nearly as important in a randomizer setting, and it's certainly not worth passing up items you could be checking now. Oh, we've got a lovely purple Kraid. Kraid goes blue and then goes down with a lovely Kraid quick kill executed by Toasty. That trick fires ammunition at just the right timing such that Kraid's mouth is frozen in the open position so that you can just do all the damage you need to on him before he ever stands up. Ooh, laser door! Nothing like a laser door. I still don't understand what makes a laser door happen, but they do sound funny. Yep, and Kev is going to Kraid now. We haven't seen any major route deviations, and with this loadout, I wouldn't expect to see any for a while at least. No, so within SMRAT logic, hell runs are not in logic, so they're generally not going to be very advantageous at all. Because we know that Varia is never going to be in Norfair. So, Gravity, for example, could be in Norfair, but with the amount of time that hell runs take, that's just not a very valuable gamble. And you know, for example, if Gravity is in Norfair, then that already means that Varia is not going to be in Meridia. So you're still going to have to make those same checks to find Varia anyway. So it's not a huge deal. Yeah, Kevnastics unfortunately didn't quite pull off that Kraid quick kill. However, Kraid went down in no time. Yeah, so the hell run to get to bubble missiles can be relevant because Varia can be there if speed is in logic. It's a long time for one check, but if you're really looking for a hot gamble, you might just think that's worth it. It can also be tempting to check Ice Beam while you're here. I used to do it. I think it's a little bit of a trap because it's really slow and it can never have Varia. Yeah, so after finding nothing from the downplay, Toasty and presumably Kevnastics shortly after are just going to be going up Red Tower. On their way, they will be able to check the items of Red Tower, the Alpha and Beta power bombs. And then they'll go into wrecked ship. Well, they don't have any logical access to wrecked ship yet, so Gravity has to be coming up pretty soon. Or a really mean Varia somewhere like Beta power bombs that makes them go right back down. Yeah, so the SMRAT only does full randomizer. Yeah, so if we don't find a suit here and we find wrecked ship access, then we're gonna need to find a suit before Fantoon in wrecked ship. I almost didn't see the what are those guys, the Boyons, for a second because they're the same color as the background almost. Oh, they do have that screw beam, or screw attack. So yeah, Fantoon might just be in logic here. They still need some way to get across grapple or space jump. Yeah, so dash is something differently entirely. Dash, I believe you can do full randomization, but major minor is really where it's at for dash. pretty sure Screw Beam would just be Hyper Beam. Now this is interesting. I think something has to be a moat, unless I'm forgetting some errant check somewhere. Because our runners don't have any way to get to criteria power bombs. I believe Space Jump is required for Gauntlet. Even though our runners might elect to do a Gauntlet now. So I think it might have to be a suit here. Or Space Jump. Yeah, that works too. So within SMRAT logic, it's a very simple logic, so even things like horizontal shine sparking are not within the logic of SMRAT. Yeah, this is certainly an interesting seed so far. I don't like going direct ship early, so this wouldn't have been a great seed for me. Toasty's gonna get across pretty quickly with that Space Jump, though. He didn't peek Sky Missile, which tells me that he's planning on doing a full clear of wrecked ship. Or he's just YOLOing it. That could also be a possibility. I believe Music rolled this seed, actually. So go blame him over at twitch.tv/music75. Why don't you just give him a follow while you're there too? Be sure to give both of our runners a follow as well. If you do !R in the chat, that'll give you their Twitches. Follow the race stream team as well. Music is doing double duty today, both tracking and race streaming, and I'm Glove on comms. Yep, and Cheese is our lovely moderator. Wow, we really got some purple bosses today. I like it. It's like a grape soda flavored Phantoon. Not during the race, just in case they have notifications on. Well, I would love to say that that's a mistake you only make once, but that's provably false. And Phantoon goes down. Very nicely done from Toasty. Phantoon is an annoying boss in the best of situations. When you have to Doppler him, he's not very fun. Now, Kevnastics here wants to go and check criteria power bombs and possibly Gauntlet before doing wrecked ship. This is an interesting play, and it could make a bit of a difference in the race. So effectively, what Kev is doing here is taking a couple extra rooms and door transitions in exchange for the knowledge of what these items are. So say Kev finds a suit or something here, Kev might be more inclined to just dip out of wrecked ship earlier on. Unfortunately, that Spazer Beam is a little troll. You can't have Spazer and Plasma equipped at the same time, at least in Varia. In the vanilla game you can, and it breaks everything. Yeah, so Kevnastics is going for the save here, and presumably going to peek front of Gauntlet, and if it's nothing, just reset. Yeah, I believe that Space Jump, or oh, are you asking like if Space Jump and Screw were both in Logic? Space Jump was. I forget where Screw Attack was. It might have been Billy Mays, which would put it, or no, it wasn't. It was later on. Screw might have been like Green Hill Zone or something. Yeah, chat seems to agree with me. Yeah, and see, here's where Kev's play pays off. And Toasty making out as well. Now, the fact that Toasty found Gravity Suit there is potentially really good for kevnastics. So, what that means is that if kevnastics goes for Wrecked Ship Reserve, at that point, Kev can just skip top of Wrecked Ship. And the only way that would goozle Kev would be, for example, if both Speed and Ice were there. Or if Speed is there and Ice is somewhere speed locked or something like that. Yeah. Now, it's also possible here that Toasty just wants to, for example, skip bowling anyway. And in that case, it's not going to be that huge of a deal. Alright, and just power bombs here. Yeah, it's definitely easy to figure that out with the logic when you're just in chat. It really is harder to be making those sorts of thoughts in the middle of a race. Logically speaking, they should play vanilla? Yeah, exactly. So my understanding is that Fantoon was already in Logic with the number of E-Tanks they had because Screw lowers the E-Tank requirement. I have gotten varied answers on how much that works. And with no slight to the Varia team, I have not found the Varia code to be especially designed for convenient readability. It takes a while to figure out that system, and I'm too lazy to go mucking through that code. Yeah, I know at least for gravity, Screw lowers the E-Tank requirement. I believe Charge has the same effect because of Pseudo Screw. Yeah, if Kev decides to dip out, which is possible, Wrecked Ship Reserve is a pretty long check to make. That could be really costly. You'll expect most people to check right and left side supers anyway. They're reasonably quick checks to make, especially left supers. There's a reason that in the vanilla game, you get left side supers in nearly every single category in the game. I'm hard pressed to think of one that doesn't besides like RBO or GT Classic. Yep, and Toasty finds his Spazer, which is not going to be nearly as exciting as that Varia that's coming his way. Which suit was found first? It was really close. That the Varia, I'm pretty sure, was found first. Someone in chat can confirm, but I believe that Kev found Varia and then Gravity, and then Toasty found Gravity shortly after. Alright, chat corroborating. Always trust chat. Alright, and that space jump makes the spiky room of death really cozy. You can also do some damage boost strats through there, and if you have Vardia suit, because of the way that SMRAT does suits balancing, with Varia suit, those spikes only deal 15 damage a hit to you, which is pretty nice. Alright, and now both of our players have both suits. At this point, all our players are looking for is enough ammo or charge to kill Mother Brain, and some way to access Bot's Wound. Unless, of course, one or both of them are going for something like a suitless Crystal Flash Clip, which would be pretty deadly. Yeah, it could be pretty deadly to you actually winning the race if you aren't able to get it quickly. Yeah, Bombs, Ice, or Speed. If somebody here knows how to suitless CF clip, that'd be really cool to see. It is a frame-perfect trick, unfortunately. However, Idle Child, who I believe is in the chat, did just release that CF trainer, so if you're looking to learn the Crystal Flash clip, be sure to check that out. It's interesting that Kev made the Peak and Ocean Missiles check on their way out. Yeah, so right now, Toasty is still pulling ahead. Just because of the checks that they have both made, and I think a lot of it is just coming down to, at the very beginning of the game, Kevnastics had some trouble with Billy Mays wall jumps. From there, it's just been a matter of movement. Toasty's had some pretty clean movement. Oh, Saffron got a Contra 3 world record? GG. It's really cool. About 2 months ago. Huh, well. GG anyway. Yeah, so with nothing at X-Ray, Kevnastics is just going to be lagging further behind. Lower Norfair could be a pretty significant differentiator. With Space Jump and Screw Attack, not as much so. Just because with Space Jump and Screw Attack, movement through Lower Norfair can be pretty clean. and having really exceptional movement won't make as big of a difference versus something like if you didn't have that space jump, or excuse me, screw attack, or space jump as well. Yeah, screw is so nice for lower Norfair. It's also possible we could see something like Speed or Ice at Mickey Mouse Room, Dead Mouse Room, generic rodent mascot room, George R.R. Martin room, whatever you want to call it. Speed or Ice could be there, and one runner checks it and the other doesn't, and that would be enormous. Once either of our runners finds Speed or Ice, they're in go mode. Well, ammo mode. Although pretty close as we're coming to it. Toasty needs to find 2 more super packs for an annoying go mode, and then another super pack or something would make it just fine. Hoping for GT. We've seen a couple people check GT this tournament. I'm not sure we've seen anyone check it and it actually pay off. But all of the GT items are in logic with that space jump. Which is always the case. You have to have space jump to get to lower Norfair. Oh, worked for you once? Nice. Yeah, you don't see a lot of that guy, unfortunately. With having space jump, it's not too bad to check specifically the screw attack item. Yeah, because SMRAT is an accessible tournament, space is always required to get into lower Norfair, meaning that the GT missile will always be in logic. Alright, yeah, and Toasty's getting really close to being Speed or Ice away from go mode. Or just being in go mode if he knows how to do suitless CF clip. Nice Kago there. Yeah, Green Gate Glitch can get you to see all of the items and get 2 of them. However, to look at the 2 GT items themselves, you actually have to fight GT, unless you're safe scumming it and there's nothing there. Oh, bombs at Ridley, that would be really nice. With bombs, suitless CF clip is much easier. Or, not suitless, with bombs, there's a bomb crystal flash clip method. Alright, and we're on the Ridley fight now. On Toasty's screen. Looks like we got a Spearmint Ridley today. It's a very pretty color. Almost the same color as Toasty. Yeah, high jump boots are a pretty common thing to find behind Ridley. Interestingly, Ridley is actually never in logic. He's just too hard of a boss. You can't put him down to SMRAT settings. And so what that means is that the item behind Ridley cannot be anything that unlocks something else in the game. So like speed can't be there to my knowledge. Today it's just a missile pack. Yeah, that's just the way it is. I guess Ridley's difficulty to be medium no matter the loadout you have. He's a hard boss. It's a quirk within Varia. The randomizer. Not the suit, obviously. Yeah, be sure to, shortly after this match at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, we're going to see our last match of SMRAT Round 5, which is going to be Sloaters versus Skipsy. That's going to be awesome. And then after that, we're going to be getting the postings for Round 6, the penultimate round for our Swiss event here. Once the Swiss is finished, based on the results of the Swiss, everybody who has a record of 4-3 or better will be put into the single elimination rat bracket, and everybody with a record of 3-4 or lower will be put into the single elimination mouse bracket. Realize Toasty has no timer. Yeah, so that's not a thing with our restream. Toasty's stream just doesn't have a timer on it. There's nothing we can do about that. Somebody will probably step up to restream the Sloaters race. If nobody else volunteers, I'll do it. No predictions going right now. Ooh, Spring Ball. Unfortunately, Toasty's unlikely to get that unless he feels more comfortable with Spring Ball Crystal Flash Clip, in which case that would put him in go mode. Looks like he's going for it. And meanwhile, Kevnastics is just taking a bit of a lava bath there. I hear it's very soothing for the soul. And Ridley goes down. Yeah, I think we all want to race Sloaters. That guy is something else when it comes to randomizers. Oh, that's a nice list of items that can't be behind Ridley. That's quite a few. Yeah, Spring Ball CF clip is rough. If you can learn it though, I guess. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have... Well, okay, it's technically possible for me to face Sloaters. No, I don't think I could face Sloaters next round, because I have the lowest Buchholz of all the 4-1s. So I think, assuming Sloaters wins, I face either Checkshuman, Hacksaw, or I forget who the other one with like an 11 Buchholz or whatever among the 3-2 is. And if Sloaters loses the race, then that changes the math, so I would face another 4-1. But yeah, within the race, we see Kevnastics on the Lower Norfair escape. Much easier with that screw attack. So nice. And Toasty is still looking for speed or ice. Maybe he just picked up that Spring Ball for movement, or maybe he knows the Crystal Flash Clip, but he would like a more comfy method. Or even just like a couple more Power Bomb packs. Speed at Shack and ice at Plasma. Why would you say these things, Saffron? Oh yeah, Toasty needs ammo as well. You're right. I believe... No, Toasty's good on ammo now. It's possible he wants a little bit extra, but he already has that. And generally speaking, if you have a little bit extra, it's faster to just shoot out the doors and then go back and refill to have a little bit of extra on you. Oh, right, duh. You can't Zeb skip. These are the things I forget. Unbelievable. Needing to Zeb skip changes the math completely. Yeah, I mean, Kev could be going to Shack if Kevnastics finds that Ice Beam and wants to Ice Clip into Shack for not much added value. Hey, maybe Croc has something today. Croc has been holding a couple times. I know Croc had, what was it? Ice Beam, I believe, in the, or no, Croc had Speed Booster in the six-way race that I was a part of, and Ice Beam was behind Dragon. That's beautiful. What a lovely Croc. That's like one of those like blueberry dum dum lollipops. I'd go for one of those. Yeah, I really like this candy-colored bosses preset from Toasty. We've had some spearmint gum, Ridley, some grape soda Fantoon, and a lollipop Crocomire. Yeah, blue raspberry croc. Oh, I love the grapple so much. That's one of my favorite tricks in the game. If you grapple Croc, then the legs keep walking back and the body stays in place. Yeah, nobody likes the reserve tanks. That's not true. Saffron's in the chat. Saffron likes reserve tanks. They can be used to perform death saves if you know how, and that can be really useful. Although I would argue it's not as useful in something like a randomizer compared to, say, RBO, where you can survive an extra hit from Ridley's tail. Reserve tanks are actually overpowered, but nobody knows how to use them. Yeah. Would you argue that even within randomizers, Saffron? Oh, there's Speed Booster. Store bananas in them? Somewhat, but not nearly as much. Yeah. Well, there's the Speed Booster. Always bet Croc. Yeah, I believe it was like there was one rando league race. Somebody mentioned that a runner used multiple reserve tanks to do like 3 death saves to get through Musketeers. So death saving can be worthwhile if you know how to do it. However, it's kind of complicated and it only works if you're explicitly expecting to get hit. Yeah. So at this point, there's not a lot of ways that kevnastics can catch up. If either runner finds charge in a convenient location, that's huge. Always expecting to get hit when you play. Well, yeah, then Lomi and just pause, just mash the pause button, and you can do a whole bunch of death saves. Yeah, SMRAT gives you a lot of supers, generally speaking. I believe it's a 3-3-1 ratio for missiles, super missiles, and power bombs. Hey, charge is a really great place to have Precious. Maybe not, or excuse me, Precious is a great place to have charge. Maybe not quite as much this race because our runners don't have that X-ray. To get to Batoon with X-ray in reserve, is it unlikely because it has to deal with RNG and subpixel stuff, or is it just a bunch of difficult inputs? Because I'd be somewhat curious about that. Oh, and there's high jump boots. What a location for them. And Ice Beam. At this point, I don't expect Toasty to check anything else. The only thing that could arguably make this faster for him is Charge Beam, and Charge Beam would basically have to be like precious to make it worth it. Yeah, high jump boots help everywhere. High jump, like, if there were somehow an item location after Mother Brain where high jump boots were, I would still pick them up because high jump boots are so good for the escape. Yeah, quick boss moon fight. Yep, and Toasty doesn't go for halfy or full halfy. If I'm not mistaken, if you're only going for halfy, space jumping is actually faster. No charge of Precious today, unfortunately. Yeah, and Toasty doesn't have to be too worried about his ammo counts. Unless he checks behind Dragon and finds Charge Beam there, then he's gonna have to refill at the ship. And that's the main thing that would make Charge faster, is just being able to skip a refill. Oh, I love this Dragon. What kind of like candy or sweet is this? Probably some like, I don't know, grape watermelon maybe? Toasty just hopping out. He forgot about Dre. Unfortunate. Maybe Charge was behind it. I don't think Charge being behind Dragon at this point would save Toasty any time. It would be a toss-up. I think it takes you like 10 seconds to refill a chip without the save. See, music appreciates me, thanks. Yeah, and at this point, just with movement throughout the race, a couple extra checks from Kev, and waiting until the end of the croc check to find that speed booster, Kev has a lot of ground to make up and not really anywhere to do it. And Kevnastics is still making checks. That indicates to me that Kevnastics maybe only feels comfortable with Ice Skip. There's Charge Beam. Yeah, Full Beam and Supers have the same DPS, assuming perfect execution. Most people, I believe, I know at least Firebat does, finds optimal charge shots to be easier than optimal supers. However, either way, the only thing that charge would have saved you was that refill time. Yeah, but that charge beam for Kevnastics means that Kev doesn't have to worry about finding Ice Beam. He might still find it here. And if Kevnastics finds Charge Beam, or excuse me, Ice Beam, that's gonna be really good. Ooh, skipping the Aqueduct checks. Oh! Or maybe not. Alright, Kev thought about skipping Aqueduct, but thankfully is going back, and will find both high jump boots and Ice Beam. I mean, Kev can do a full Ice Boots run now. Yeah, so that makes Turian a good bit faster. Just because having to powerbomb all those Metroids is annoying. Kevnastics also will not have to refill if they don't desire. We could still see one anyway. However, this is like old route plus loadout. Oh, and we got some toffee frozen Metroids there. It's the best I can come up with. Maybe lemon, I don't know, like lemon drops. Definitely some kind of like watermelon or like watermelon blue raspberry when they're unfrozen. I just like candy a lot. I want to go to a candy store. And unfortunately, because Toasty does not have bombs, he's just gonna have to power bomb this last Metroid off him. Losing a fair bit of time there. Yep, unfortunately Kevnastics did not pick up Grapple, so he's just gonna have to use some Shine Spark and Charge Beam strats to take down Dragon. Ooh yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you actually cannot damage Dragon while she's trying to grab you. If you can, it's really difficult to do. Yeah, you have to be really careful with your Shine Sparks. It's very easy to just lose a bunch of time. Yeah, I know Sparks don't work there. There's actually a relatively short time where Sparks do work. If you're not familiar with the right way to Spark Dragon, you can lose a fair bit of time there. I say as somebody who has lost a lot of time to Dragon over the course of many seats, trying to go for strategies I don't know. I believe optimally you can kill Dragon using only Sparks with what, like 4 Sparks or something? Something like that. Oh, and another blue raspberry boss with Mother Brain. Yeah, I like the red frozen Rinkas. They're basically the same color. Wow, those onion rings kind of look like the color of onion rings. Yeah, so not gonna have any problems at all with this fight. Blue ketchup? Is this the Sonic the Hedgehog promotion? Alright, and Toasty is not going for stand-up here. He doesn't have charge, so all that he could get from it is baby manipulation. And that's not worth the soft lock to save a few frames or whatever. Alright, at this point, Toasty just has to finish it out. And he's gonna have a very nice time too. Not sub-hour, but just a couple minutes off. Not a bad time at all, especially with the way that this seed was perhaps not the nicest. Certainly not a jet seed. Anytime I have to go to Croc, I'm not happy. Alright, and Toasty is about to enter Mother Brain 3. He goes for some fun lag reduction strats. Basically, whenever the hyper beam's on screen, it causes lag, so if you get right up in Mother Brain's face, you can prevent a bunch of lag. However, you have to time your strats, or your shots correctly. I find the easiest way to do it, as far as jumping goes, is to just buffer, jump straight up. If you let go of let go of your jump button, and then start holding jump shortly before Samus touches the ground, she will jump on the first possible frame every time. So once you learn that strat, it's just a matter of timing your shots so you're not just shooting Mother Brain's body or something. Ooh, and Toasty wants Blue Bomber here. Let's see if he gets it. Aw. Oh well, still uses those iframes to get through the pirate on the left side. Gets the last moonfall of the run. Pretty clean escape, all in all. Guess I shouldn't say anything yet. Ooh, and the left side spark. Always fun to see. Alright, and Toasty has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 104.16. We'll see if he wants to come in for an interview. GG to Toasty. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, kevnastics makes their way through Mother Brain Room without any hassle. Plenty of ammo to spend, and Kev has full beam, so Kev has a million options here. Kev missed a couple shots there. No matter, just a couple charge shots and the fight is done. welcome to the 3-2s where all the cool kids hang out. Heck yeah, Toasty has moved on to 3-2. With that, between round 6 and 7, Toasty will need to get one more win to get into the Rat bracket, whereas Kevnastics will have to win both of their remaining matches in order to make it into Rat bracket. This has been a really stacked tournament, and I suspect that we're going to see some people in Mouse bracket that at the beginning of the tournament everyone would have said we're surefire placements into Rat. We just have more quote-unquote Rat level players than we do slots in the Rat bracket. Heck yeah, Music, you're a cool kid. You did restreaming and tracking. Be sure to go follow Music75. Go follow Toasty. Go follow Kevnastics. What a great showcase. Alright, Toasty's in the green room now, and now we are joined by Toasty. GG. Toasty, can you hear me? Looks like Toasty might be having some audio issues. See if we can get those sorted out. Alright, and in the meantime, Kevnastics is finishing up on the escape sequence. And we'll be finishing in just a second. Alright, and Kevnastics finishes in second place with an official SRL time of 109.35. GG. Yeah, big ups to both of our runners. Sub 110 is a great time, especially for a seed like this. Alright, and now we're joined by Kevnastics. Kev, GG.
Hey, thank you, GG Toasty.
Looks like Toasty is having some mic issues right now. I think he just said in his stream his mic's not working.
Well, that's a bummer, but GG Toasty. I am thrilled beyond belief that I got that close to Toasty. That I think he got done right after I got out of the room with the baby, and I'm like, wow, that's way closer than I thought I would get to Toasty. So I'm really proud of that run.
Nice. Yeah, you made some you had some pretty similar routes overall.
Yeah, I kind of remember my route. I ended up going down at Red Tower because something said to me, I'm like, I think Toasty's gonna go up. And then after I went to Crade, I said, man, I think I made the wrong decision. And which is fine, so I just did the checks there, and then I went to Wreck Ship, and after I found that suit, I said, well, my only chance of really getting ahead of Toasty is if he decided to abandon Wreck Ship after Fantoon and did not find this suit. Maybe he'll have to do, something else. And that was kind of what I was hoping, that he just didn't find a suit and had to do something crazy like Suitless North, like RBO style Lower Norfair. And I'm like, all right, and I know he's capable. With all the E-tanks that were there, I figured that could be a potential move for him. And then when I didn't find my Meridia progress in Lower Norfair, I was like, God, was it a bad idea to skip Wreck Ship? Should I have gone to Meridia earlier? And had I gone to Meridia earlier, I would have crushed it. But my thing is, if I have everything I need to get to Lower Norfair, I would rather do that than Meridia because it makes more logical sense as far as time. But again, that's banking on finding, my Meridia access, and I can't Crystal Flash. I didn't have bombs, and I'm not MM2, so I wasn't going to pull off some, wild high-tech, strats. So I just tried to make it comfortable, and what a good check on a whim, checking Aqueduct, because that gave me high jump boots and ice, which I didn't really need, but definitely quality of life, and ice made Turian much faster than it would have been otherwise. So I'm very glad.
Hello?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Gee, Toasty.
I switched to my phone.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, man, thanks. I'm really, it's a tribute to you. I'm very proud that I got as close to you as I did, because I thought you were going to absolutely wipe the floor with me. So I'm really, really happy with that run. And I'm glad I got a chance to match up against you. So that was awesome.
Yeah, good game, man. That's really awesome. That was a tricky one. I would guess that was slow placement progression or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I literally last locationed space jump, but
same.
Yeah,
I think it was
crazy.
last location for me too. I think it was I did not have any more checks I could do, so because it was in the moat, right? I think space jump, and
yeah.
I almost went up Red Tower, but I said to myself, I think Toasty's going to go up Red Tower, and if I'm going to beat Toasty, I have to get an edge somehow. So I tried to anticipate where you would go. Now, obviously, once I got to Crate, I'm like, damn it, I should have gone up. Pardon my language.
Yeah, no, I went down. It's all good.
Yeah,
I would
you took
imagine
pretty similar routes. Kev got that suit, the Varia, like seconds before Toasty got Gravity.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because
I don't remember where Varia
Kev,
was.
it was front of Gauntlet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so Kev did front of Gauntlet before Wrecked Ship, and Toasty did it afterward.
Nice.
That's kind of neat. I was really hoping that you abandoned Wreck Ship after Fantoon, because as soon as I found the Gravity suit, I'm like, all right, I hope Toasty is going to have to pull some suitless Lower Norfair shenanigans, because that's my only chance to win now. So I felt like it took forever to get those suits.
Yeah, I thought about it. It was not a bad seed for that, but I just wasn't comfortable with playing on a laptop. It was a little bit different. My comfortable, cozy setup.
Well,
like, all right, don't do anything crazy.
That's kind of all I'm used to. But this, I think, was my fastest seed out of all the rando races, all the SMRAT races I've done. So, it's only about it's only 3 minutes and 30 seconds slower than the best seed I've ever pulled off so far. So I feel like I'm starting to understand this game a little bit better, and I think I showed some good movement. I think I showed I at least know how to play the game.
For sure, man. That was a bit of a tough seed. Did you go to Croc before Lower Norfair?
No, I went to Croc afterward. But the problem is I almost checked the cosine room before I went down, and I wish I had, because that would have saved me about 2 or 3 minutes. But I ended up, going. I'm a hundo runner, so for me, I'm like, all right, if I find something over there, I kind of know how to work through this. That I don't know. I guess that's kind of how my mind works when I do rando. Is very hundo oriented, and that does influence my route a lot. So. But I forget exactly. Was it speed that was at cosine? I think it was speed.
Yep. The speed boost.
Yeah. I was really hoping I was going to find my my Norfair stuff. I mean my Meridia stuff in Norfair, and then I had a feeling that ice would be speed locked because I've had so many seeds in the last month where ice has been speed locked. So I ended up getting ice and high jump boots at Meridia after Lower Norfair. Just on a whim, I checked Aqueduct, and I was like, oh, high jump boots, that's a quality of life thing. And then I just decided to get it because I didn't really need it. I'm just like, well, Toasty's probably way ahead of me. I'll get it anyways. And ice happened to be there. So I'm like, all right, sweet. Turian is going to be faster.
Yeah, I did that check too. It's like, wow, pretty stacked.
I think if we had gone to Meridia before Lower Norfair, this would have been like a jet seed. Well, actually,
yeah, well,
no,
you
that might not have
couldn't
worked.
get that
The
ice
speed was at
well
Croc,
with the
so
snail clip. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't even know how to do the snail clip. I have seen it done though. I'm gonna have to learn some more advanced tech if I'm gonna continue to compete with
I know,
guys
right?
like you
Yeah.
for sure.
I make it my soapbox issue to recommend people learn snail clip. It's such a cool trick, and it's not difficult execution wise. If you can midair morph, you can get it. It's just a matter of like turning around to get the snail in the right position.
See, the only fancy clips I've done so far, I can do the ice clip to Batoon. I can do the ice clip. Might take me a bunch of tries, but I can do the ice clip into Shack Tool. But that's kind of like, I can't Crystal Flash. I don't know how to do the Frog Speedway skip speed, without speed. So, again, just inexperience. I've been playing Super Metroid for, I've been speed running since like April of 2020. So I really haven't been playing the game all that long. So I'm really pleased with my progress so far. And Toasty is somebody that I know from just doing GT Classic weekly races, and it's definitely somebody that I've looked up to and really happy to have become friends with. So thank you, Toasty, for being a good opponent, a good friend, and I know that my best chance to beat you lies with GT Classic because I'm catching up on you, man.
Yeah, no, thanks. It's always fun to race a buddy. Thanks, good race, and thanks, Glove, the commentary.
Yeah,
of course.
Restream
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
man,
watch this one back. Who did the restream and the tracking?
Music for both of them.
Music. Oh, that's right. Music was in there. So thanks, Music. Thanks, Glove, and thanks to everybody
thank
who
you.
was involved. Thanks, chat, for hopefully I'll see some good stuff, and I didn't get harassed too much for my some of my idiotic decisions, but hopefully I made up for it with some decent movement and some high quality tech, and I hope it was entertaining for everybody.
Yeah. I don't think we saw any major capping in this race. Like none of you did anything that was like, what the heck?
Oh, thank goodness for that, man. I'm still hurt from my first SMRAT race that was almost 2 hours long. It's going to take me a little while to get over that, but I think cutting down to this is I'm just happy. I think I'm done talking. I'm really I'm really pleased, and GG Toasty, and thanks everybody.
Yeah, good game, Kev. No, that was a great time for that seed. That wasn't particularly straightforward or anything. That was a bit out there, so.
Yeah, let's get to the announcements. Let's find out who we got next.
And we do have a treat. So up next in like a little more than half an hour, we have Sloters versus Skipsy. That's going to be a really exciting one. You do not want to miss that. And right after that, we're going to have the announcements.
For some reason, I thought Sloters and Skipsy were before us, so now I'm really pumped. I might get a chance to watch some of that.
I highly recommend you do. It's always a treat to watch Sloters play, and Skipsy is by no means a slouch either.
All right, cool. I'm a huge Sloters fan, so hopefully I'll get a chance to catch some of that.
Oh, we're not going to have the announcements after that? Jay is unavailable tonight. Okay. I take that back then. I'm not sure what's going to go on with that. Be sure to stick around for Sloters and Skipsy, though.
All right, GG sure. Again, Toasty, and see y'all next mission.
Yeah, best of luck in the rest of the tournament. I'll take care, everybody.
Same to you, bud.
All right, and with all of that, right after this, we're going to go raid somebody. And yep, but that's everything from us. Yep, we're going to go raid Sloters, it looks like. And that's everything from us for now. In about half an hour, be sure to come right back here. Go watch Sloters versus Skipsy. I'm sure Sloters will have the link in his chat if you just stick around in there. But until then, we'll see you next mission.